Hey, welcome back to the Lore College. I'm Mr. Burns, and today I have a deck that still needs some fleshing out. I think a lot of decks do, though, but I want to be upfront about that. I do think that it is a deck that can catch people off guard, and I think it has a lot of legs, all right? And that deck is Meeko and Pocahontas Aggro. So, Amber Amethyst aggro, this Pocahontas, people have been super excited about Pocahontas and Meeko, Adventurous Friends. So 4 cost, Inkable, 2/3, Quest for 2, Shift 2 on top of one of your characters named either Pocahontas or Meeko. It has evasive, and whenever this character quests, you may return chosen character of yours with cost 1 to your hand. If you do, you may play a character with cost 1 for free. So, obviously, this is an aggressive deck. That's what aggro means. It means that you're trying to win the game before your opponent can, set up their game plan and beat you. So, of course, we have Meeko here. Just a 1 cost, 1/3 vanilla. Not very exciting, but it does enable that turn 2 shift with Meeko and Pocahontas. We also have Sleepy. So, Sleepy has been getting slept on. I haven't been watching a ton of Attack of the Vine coverage, but I have been perusing through Dreamborn, looking on Twitter, and a lot of people are trying decks like this, but I do not see a lot of people playing Sleepy. So Sleepy is a 1 cost, inkable, 1/2, quest for 1. It's a 7 dwarf, and when this character is banished, if you have another 7 dwarves or princess character in play, you may draw a card. So there's not a lot of 7 dwarves in this deck. We could, of course, play Doc, but we have 4 automatically with the 4 sleepies. And then if we just peruse a little bit, we have Pocahontas is a princess. We have Pocahontas is a princess. We have Pocahontas. Have I mentioned she's a princess? And of course, we have Pocahontas, and she is a princess. So a lot of ways to trigger it, and you don't have to turn it sideways if you don't want to. So I think Sleepy is just again, it's being slept on right now. 4 Will-o'-the-Wisps, 4 of this Meeko, and this is the Meeko that we really want to not shift onto if we can help it. We want to pair it with the Pocahontas and Meeko. So this one is a 1 cost, unequable, 1/1, quest for 2 with evasive, and it has the downside of bottomless pit. At the end of your turn, if this character is exerted, choose and discard a card or banish him. So obviously we don't want to discard a card every single turn. That is the opposite of rule number 1 here. Rule number 1 is draw more cards, win more games. So with this Pocahontas and Meeko's effect, we can return that Meeko to our hand and replay it, and of course it will be ready, and you will not have to discard a card from your hand. Next we have Olaf, another character that combos well with Pocahontas and Meeko. It's a 1 cost inkable 2/1 quest for 1. When this character leaves play, you may return chosen character of yours to your hand. Now notice it says leaves play, it does not say banish or anything like that, or goes to the discard pile. So you can return it to your hand, and then you can either rebuy some of those cards that you already quested with. Maybe you want to protect something like this Pocahontas that only has 2 willpower, or you can return to your hand something like Nani, right? Something that when you play this character, 3 ink, 3/3, quest for 1, when you play this character, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You may reveal a character card will cost 2 or less and put it in your hand. And this deck is full of character cards that cost 2 or less. So it's effectively drawing us a card almost every time we play it. So yeah, you can rebuy effects like that. We have this new Pocahontas, which has, people believe is going to be an absolute all-star in Amber Emerald. Seeing what it does in Amber Amethyst for us, it's a 2 cost inkable 2/3 quest for 1. When you play this character, you may play a character with cost 1 for free. So sort of has the Grandmother Willow effect. The turn that you play it, you're able to play another character that costs 1. It's another thing that we could return with Olaf, and then we're going to replay the Olaf for free. We're going to play the Pocahontas and then play something else for free. It's also, you may notice I don't have Grandmother Willow in here. I think we need more Pocahontases for the shift, for this shift that we're going to get to later. And I think we need more inkable cards. We're kind of priced into playing this Meeko. I feel like we're priced into playing this Pocahontas because we are that breakneck speed aggro deck. And there's another unequal card that I would prefer in my deck over the Grandmother Willow. We're not abusing Grandmother Willow in the way that dogs typically would. And we're not even really abusing it in the way that we're using it as ramp in something like an Amber Amethyst control deck would do. It is possible that Grandmother Willow finds its way into the deck. Like I was saying earlier, I don't think anything is fleshed out right now. I think we need a lot more playtesting and definitely some in-person large-scale tournaments. Next up, we have Rex, just a bodyguard that costs 2. We can find it with Nani. It's all around good character. David, same thing. Pocahontas, another shift target for the Pocahontas if we absolutely have to. We would prefer not to. Something that people don't seem to realize that often is that you can actually choose your opponent's character with this What is my path ability. So 2 costs, unequal, 3/2. Quest for 1, or does it? When this character quests, gain lore equal to another chosen exerted character's lore. So you can obviously, well, or maybe not obviously, pick your opponent's character for this. So I see that missed a lot, and we are trying to cater to players that are trying to level up their game, so that could be a big level up for you. Christopher Robin, not a huge fan of this card typically, but combined with another card we find later, well, two other cards really, and all of the bodyguards, I think this is probably the best deck that you could play him in. The decks that I've seen him played in before Attack of the Vine came out, pre-rotation, stuff like that, I always was just completely underwhelmed and thought that players could do it a better card, but I think he's really at his best in this deck. We went over Nani, of course. Raja, more bodyguards, effectively costed 3 cost 3/4. Pocahontas and Meeko we went over. Mickey Mouse. So this Mickey Mouse is sort of like a bodyguard. It's also going to let us do something with all of our very small characters that our opponents could typically just run over with ease. So this is a 4 cost 2/3 quest for 2. This character may enter play exerted. Why would you want to do that? Is because he has this ability Secret Path. While this character is exerted, whenever one of your other character's quests, chosen opposing character gets -2 strength until the start of your next turn. So this is another reason that we really want to play a 1 cost on 1, and then a Pocahontas and another 1 cost on 2. Or a 1 cost on 1 and 2 1 costs on 2. And really just flood the board as quickly as possible and cap out at 4 ink and play something like a big bodyguard that's hard to deal with, like Chief Powhatan, or this Mickey Mouse here. And we're going to make it so that our opponents either have to have a rush character, which there's not a lot of, or they're going to have to just not be able to challenge our characters effectively. Last, we have 2 Pocahontas. This could go all the way up to 4. There are a lot of shift targets for it. It is a 5 cost inkable 3/6 quest for 2. It's a princess. It's shift 3. So we do not ever want to pay 5 for this. If we're paying 5 for this, we're in a really, really rough spot. When you play this character, if you use shift to play her and none of your characters challenge this turn, characters can't challenge until the start of your next turn. So it's another one of those things that is going to protect your entire board. And finally, we have the lone action in the deck. I am super high on this card. I think this card is phenomenal. I don't think we found a good shell for it. I even thought it could have been good in dogs. However, dogs is more of a combo deck using the tramp and not so much needing an uninkable card like this. Where they already had a lady that could draw so many cards. They already have Eleanor that can draw so many cards at the same ink color. We do not have a big splashy effect like that in Amber Amethyst for an aggressive deck. So this is really it. And this is one of those cards that you're just going to say to your opponent, I don't care if you banish everything I have, because I have 4 ink. The most cards in my deck cost 1 or 2 or 3. I'm just going to redeploy my entire hand the following turn, and you're going to spend all of your turn banishing my characters while I spent all of my turn gaining lore and drawing cards. And so it may seem like we have a lot of really underwhelming characters in the deck, but with 4 of this Wisdom of the Willow, Even a card, Meeko, Will o' the Wisp, any of these cards, Sleepy, even when you don't have a princess in play, all of a sudden are drawing you cards and replacing themselves and, running block for you, where your opponent is going to, instead of gaining lore on their own turn, wanting to challenge down your entire board. So, yep, that's the deck. And it's something that I know a lot of people, especially, are looking to play some kind of off meta rogue type strategy to try to take advantage of people still figuring out their decks week one, right? A lot of people are teching in cards like World's Greatest Criminal Mind. They're teching in cards like Gaston. Those cards do nothing against this deck, right? So if your opponent is spending all of their turns playing a Webby's Diary and trying to boost their characters, and you're just spewing out onto the board and gaining all the lore you can and drawing all the cards you can off Wisdom of the Willow, I think that this is an excellent choice for someone to play, especially week one. And I think it's an excellent choice for someone to play if they are not sure what the metagame is going to be yet. I would much rather have the questions than have the answers, right? When we're trying to figure out a brand new metagame. So that's it for now. Thank you all so much. I am currently in Japan, and I'm sure I will talk all about that when I get back. This was a scheduled video, so thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, or if you have been working on a deck that you want me to take a crack at, leave it in the comment section below. Greatly appreciate you, and I'll see you soon.